What's up? Oh, let me fix my mic. So proud of myself for actually getting on the stream on time today. And of course, I missed something like my mic. Hold on. I think I need to fix the settings so y'all can hear me. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry about that. We should be good to go with the mic, camera. All right, we should have way less technical difficulties than we had last time. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Bitches Love Sports. I'm your host, Jazz Monet. I am on the wrong channel, but the game hasn't started yet anyway. But this will be a watch along for the game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Um, and it's been interesting hearing people talk about this game and talk about who they expect to win because for a while I think it was hey JV, how you doing? Um but for a while I think it was like kind of a given, kind of understood that that the Eagles just had the advantage. Uh what's up, Leon? Hey to everybody who's watching. If you are watching and you want to say hi in the chat, say hi. We're very kind here. Feel free to drop your takes in the chat. But yeah, I think for a while everybody just assumed that the Eagles had the advantage here. Um, they definitely, especially when looking at the record, they definitely come off as a better team on paper. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I think with how good the Cowboys looked against the Raiders and some of the changes that they made, people are expecting those changes to translate in a certain way against the Eagles. And then there's also been the talk all season about how the Eagles offense may be unbalanced or not really performing as well as the record indicates, what have you. Um, and so this week, uh, a lot of the questions seem to be about that. The questions that were posed to, oh shit. Sorry, I'm watching the end of this Giants Lions game too. And Gibbs just took one. How many fucking yards was that? They're in overtime, by the way. They're in overtime. And the Lions just took it over the Giants. Uh hey, which is good for us, you know. Shout out to the Giants for helping the NFC East standings work out in the Cowboys' favor. That was, hold on, I need to watch this replay because that was, I'm like, how you let that happen in overtime? Oh, that was some excellent blocking. You can see Sewell. Sewell knew it. Sewell's like, yeah, we did it. That is phenomenal. Hell of a lapse by the Giants defense to let him get through there untouched. Well, I don't know where they are in overtime. I don't know if the Giants still get the ball. Hell of a run though. Hell of a run. How tall is Gibbs? Because I have somewhat of a theory about short running backs. Okay, he's 5'9". Like for the longest time, like short skill players got a bad rep, even if they are running backs. They would, like for the longest time, short skill players were getting a bad rap. But I just feel like lately these like shorter, muscular, like compact running backs, they've really been making a name for themselves. Like, oh, don't take us for granted. Like, like we have strengths, we have advantages. Well, man, howdy to you too. We were talking about the Cowboys, and then we collectively got distracted by this Gibbs touchdown run in this overtime um, contest between the Giants and the Lions. And I'm guessing by the fact that people aren't celebrating that the Giants are getting a turn with the ball. So I'm also assuming that means that the Cowboys kickoff is going to be delayed a little bit. Um, Unless something crazy happens on the kickoff run, like the first possession, they're going to have to push that back. Hold on. Yeah, Flaman, I know they changed the rules. I just wasn't sure where they were in overtime because I was watching the Chiefs and Colts and I just flipped to CBS to wait for the Cowboys game. So I haven't been watching this game. And so I didn't know if they were already deep enough into overtime for the Giants to have already had a possession or if that was just Lions' turn and now the Giants get a turn. JV, you're saying they're not going to delay the Cowboys kickoff? Well, that's annoying. I feel like they have in the past, but I don't know. I feel like the details of the broadcast rules kind of change uh every year. So I don't know. We'll see. It's not time yet. Let me see if they're saying anything online yet. Yeah, they're still saying it's supposed to start at 3:25, but we shall see. We shall see. I love Jameis Winston just like as a character. I kind of wish I had watched this game now just to see what led them to being tied. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and like watch, if not the whole thing, I need to watch some of these snaps. That wasn't a very good run. JV, you might be right. I might be thinking of some of the college games that have been delayed because I do definitely remember some college games being delayed because of just to fix the timing with the telecast. Flument said Jameis had one of the greatest rebrands after he caught that SA charge. I'm surprised people let him walk away from that. I guess not being a regular starter helps. Unfortunately it does. It does. And if I'm being real, I don't even think it's just that. I think it's his goofiness. I think it's the fact that he was humbled in the league a little bit. Um Somebody said something interesting recently. Hold on. I was watching Trevor Noah's podcast and I cannot remember the name of the woman that he had on as a guest, but she had recently written a book about just some of the things related to dropped my phone. What the hell is going on? He got the first down. Um but yeah, he had a guest on who had written a book about just like sex ed in the US or something like that. And she ended up talking about her own essay experience. And she said that she didn't go to the police, but she wasn't sure if that would have been the route to justice that she was looking for. And she ended up talking about how in her situation, not saying this is applicable to all situations, but in her situation, because of the details of what did and didn't actually happen, she said an apology, an acknowledgement would have sufficed. Anyway, I say all that to say, I think in some cases, even if there's no jail time, no lawsuit, I think there are some people. Um, mm, did he get it? I don't think he got his feet in bounds. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, I think there are some people who like once they feel like a person has like lost enough or they paid for what they did, even in just like a karmic sense, they just stop talking about it. JV, I don't know how to jailbreak a fire stick. And I think I have one somewhere. I think I have an old one. But yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. What are y'all looking for from the Cowboys today? I'm I'm really curious to see what happens with the defense especially, mainly because like we saw some really good things with the new personnel on the defense, and we saw some really good things from them changing up some of the fronts. You know, and I'm curious how much of that actually will translate. Because like I know the way I talked, I was like I've been very skeptical about whether or not the Cowboys can do anything close to what they did to the Raiders against the Eagles. And for good reason. We're talking about, two different teams when it comes to how they perform in the trenches, the Raiders versus the Eagles, right? So naturally, how you perform against them is going to look very different. Um, so I just really want to see what they can do against formidable competition. I feel like looking at this string of games that they have coming up, um, and just the type of teams that they're going to be facing, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like if they have a chance against any of these teams, they have the best chance against the Eagles. They typically do well against the Eagles at home. Um, they are still kind of, well, I don't want to say that they're like riding the wave of the success against the Raiders. I don't know if they're doing that, but they still have the excitement and enthusiasm of the added personnel, the new fronts, so on and so forth. Um, so I just feel like if they have a chance against any of the teams, it's against the Eagles. So it's like if they go up against the Eagles and they shit the bed, then we kind of know what to expect in the coming weeks. But if they go up against the Eagles and it's a good competition, oh, they just turned to the Eagles game on my TV. Maybe it's because I'm in Fort Worth. Said Amazon pushed an update that won't let new Fire Sticks jailbreak. So if I have an old one, because I think the one that I have is like one that somebody gave me in like 2023 or something. It's like a couple years ago. Um, Foreman says, I think if the defense can force at least one turnover, the Cowboys will win. I think that's a good metric. I think that's a good metric. And I'll even say, nah, I'm not gonna say a turnover and down, an actual turnover, like a takeaway. Don't believe him. Okay, what was that? 2 yards, 3 yards by Javante Williams. Cowboys have the ball first, by the way. I know I just let this game switch and I didn't even say shit. But yeah, Cowboys have the ball first. Javante Williams just ran it on first down. And we've got 2nd and 8. So that was a 2-yard run. Cavante Turpin in motion, Dak under center. First down to George Pickens. George Pickens has proven to be a very reliable receiver. I I like what I'm seeing from him. And I'm like, headline news, George Pickens is a good addition to the offense. But oh, JV, you were saying don't believe him about the jailbreak thing. Okay. I mean, I'll figure it out eventually. I don't have a problem with my current setup. All right. Hand off to Javante Williams. You got stopped again. The Eagles seem very prepared to like bottle up Javante Williams today, and I'm wondering how long they keep that up. I'm wondering if they start to wear down after a little bit, or if this is a game where somebody else is going to have to contribute, because they can't go away from the run. If they get scared and go away from the run, it's not going to be a good day for the Cowboys. So I hope they don't do nothing crazy like that. All right, back is under center. Play fake. Doesn't find anybody open. Ends up running himself for about a yard. So that puts us in a 3rd and long situation, which I hate for the Cowboys, especially on the first possession. Not a fan. Against the Raiders, they kind of had that excuse of GP and CD not being in the game on that first drive. But in this game, for them to have everybody they need and end up in a 3rd and long situation, they need to convert right here. Oh Lord, he passed it to Javante in the flat, so he got the ball out, but that definitely wasn't what they needed right there. So that puts him at like a 4th and 5, 4th and 3. Are they going for it? Okay, well, they're going for it. All right. We're going to be aggressive. So we got Dak in shotgun, Ferguson in motion, set. Are they trying to get the Eagles to jump off sides? That is not going to work. Not against the Eagles. Okay, they get it snapped. Oh, goodness. They got the ball to Javante, but he hit the ground and dropped it. Honestly, I'm not mad. That was a great play call. Oh, he never caught it. Damn. The ball was a little ahead of him. I don't know. It was a great play call, but I don't know that Dak and Javante have the kind of chemistry to test it in that particular situation. First drive of the game, fourth down situation, 4th and 3. So overall, I'm not mad at it, but they do need to workshop that a little bit more. Like Javante Williams having more pass attempts or having more targets than CD Lamb is wild. JB said he's mad at it. Are you mad at it because you think they should have gone for the field goal right there? I don't expect them to do that unless it's like a game on the line situation. Okay, Duran. Duran said, y'all not breaking no tackles on me today. I will put you in the ground first. I love it. But yeah, I don't expect to see them attempt a field goal in that situation. All right, Jalen Hurts and shotgun gets the snap. First down for the Eagles. Man, Kenny Clark almost got to Jalen Hurts right there. All right, Jalen Hurts and shotgun. They just did a sideline report about how supposedly, reportedly, allegedly, players and coaches in the Eagles building aren't satisfied with Jalen Hurts' play. But I'm just like, can y'all be specific? What exactly are you looking for from him? I don't know, man. And it looks like, as predicted, Lane Johnson is not on the offensive line for the Eagles. And people were expecting that to be an advantage for the Cowboys, but I don't know. The Eagles have enough depth to where I feel like that's not as big of an issue as people made it out to be. All right, we got a 4-man front for the Cowboys. Still only got 2 yards off a pass to Saquon Barkley. I don't know, JV. I think they're lucky he only got 2 yards on that because there was nobody there. uh, I don't know what was supposed to happen there. Um, all right, 2nd and 8. Eagles are already in the red zone, and they limit Barkley to another what, 2, 3 yards? You said it looks like they're gonna spam AJ Brown in the game to shut him up. Maybe if I were the Cowboys, I would smother him just to see if I could cause some dissent on the sidelines. Oh well, so much for that. I mean, this outcome was somewhat predictable once they got into the red zone. Yeah, Flo, you might be ahead of us if you're watching on an antenna. That issue of not being close enough in coverage, though, has been an issue all season, though, and not just with Deron Bland. Like it's been an issue to the point where I could see the Eagles planning for it. But I mean, we'll see what the Cowboys can do on their second drive. It's still very early in the game. I don't like that outcome. It's going to be another instance where Schottenheimer is going to be questioned about his motivation to be aggressive on the first drive like that. I mean, Flo, you're probably right. I didn't see the entire defensive formation unfold, so I'm not sure exactly what happened after the snap. It's one of the things that I hate about broadcast view, but you could have a point. I know against actually I won't even say just against the Raiders. The past couple of weeks, like there's been some excitement about the five down front by the Cowboys defense, but at the same time, when they are in the four-man front, uh the defense is a little bit more predictable. So you're probably right. Y'all are way ahead. Hold on. Let me see if my if my broadcast is just behind. Let me see if there's room to fast forward. Nope. All right, kickoff to the Cowboys. Caught by Turpin, who runs it out. And there's a flag thrown. Are there ads again, JV? I'm not going to try to turn it off this time. Last time I tried, I set off an entire string of technical difficulties. So my apologies. I encourage everyone to invest in YouTube Premium. I hate ads. And having YouTube Premium makes a big difference. It's worth it if you watch a lot of YouTube. If you watch a lot of creators and a lot of content on YouTube, just get the premium. What in the world? All right, so a penalty on the Kobe Dean for illegal contact, 5 yard penalty gives the Cowboys a first down. I'll take it. Let's see. We got Dak under center. I don't know, JV. That's why I was like, what was that? Because if it weren't for that illegal contact penalty, that would have just been another ugly snap. But I mean, hey, we'll take it. All right, we got Dak under center. Berg in motion, play action, sort of. Pitches backwards to Ferguson, ends up with like 2 yards. And we've got another third and long situation, which, like I said before, I hate for the Cowboys. Flo says Dak's accuracy is off today. Based on what we've seen so far, I would have to agree, sir. When it was the pass to Javante, I thought it was just maybe a lack of chemistry between him and Javante. But that other pass where it looked like he was supposed to be targeting CD, I don't know what the hell that was. All right, we got Javante open again. He decides to go long to CD, and what the fuck? Is it the sun? That was, I don't know what the hell is going on. I, I am puzzled, you guys. I am puzzled. Like, because not only does Dak's accuracy look off, it seems like it's getting worse rep by rep. Like, I hope the defense can get a stop here and that the offense can get their shit together. Because what the hell are we watching? This isn't even like the Eagles being just so good. This isn't anything that the Eagles are forcing. It's like, yes, don't get me wrong, the Eagles have a good defense. I'm not taking nothing away from them. But right now the Cowboys are literally beating themselves. I need them to get their shit together because what? Flo, you might be right, but on that last snap, Javante was open. So if they wanted to go for the quick yards to get the first down, that opportunity was there. But then he decides to go long to CD and misses him by several yards. Like Dak looked like he was throwing towards the sideline. CD looked like he was running a post route. So yeah, we're not talking about like, oh, it's a tight window and Dak was trying to avoid an interception. Like, nah, he's throwing to imaginary receivers. It's like George Pickens has a target, Javante Williams has like 3 targets, and then motherfuckers who don't exist have like 3 targets themselves. I don't know what he's doing. I feel you on the Fergus. I think after last week, I was a little bit more optimistic about what we might see from Ferg or how they might use Ferg. However, however, it's early in the game. Can I still be optimistic? Can I be optimistic? Is that okay? Um, I'm TV timeout. They have plenty of time to have a talk. Hopefully, the defense goes out there and does their thing. Maybe we see a little bit more of that five down front, which seems to be way more effective. So, hopefully Flus will stop being so stubborn and just do what the fuck works. Uh, and then the offense will have another chance to go back out there and tie up the game. All right, what we got? Eagles on their own 24. Cowboys in a five down front. Tackle for loss. Cool, cool. So it'll be a second and 11. Thanks for the preview, Flo. What? Oh, it was a false start. I was about to be highly upset. Well, I guess that is one benefit of not having Lane Johnson in the game. It seems like Fred needs to work on the cadence a little bit. All right, so now it's second and 16 for the Eagles. Got a four-man front here. I need to get the captions off my screen. I can't see the top of my screen. I will say the Cowboys defense is doing a much better job of getting more people uh, downhill when it's obvious that it's a run play. For a few weeks, it seemed like the linemen were just on their own no matter what was happening. Okay, Flo says the Cowboys forced a three and out, so I'm about to see it. uh, Hurts and shotgun, and they decide to run the ball in third and 14, and Kalen Carson handles that. Nice. uh, Flo, you're good. I'm gonna just try not to look at the comments. I'm gonna wait before I look at the comments. I'm gonna watch the screen more. I have a habit of just like reading the comments and responding as y'all type. I'll you respond as you need to. I'll spend more time looking at the screen. We'll do it that way. Oh shit. That was a terrible roughing the kicker. Who was that? That was not Maris. Wasn't that Flournoy? Hold on. Show me that again. Okay. I don't know what the fuck Maris was doing. I know Flournoy hit his leg. And then I think the way the kicker came down, Maris ran into him. I think Maris wasn't expecting so many people to be on the ground. Um, Yeah, no, I agree. Giving the Eagles life like this is the opposite of what you need. Because it's like we keep saying we don't need the defense to be like the best. We just need them to be better than what they have been, right? And they technically improved from 32nd in the league to 31st. Good for them. But it's like I feel like when you keep putting the Eagles back on the field, you are asking the defense to uh outperform anybody's expectations of the defense at this point. And it's like ironically, so far in this game, the defense is the only unit that's actually done their job. Special teams is fucking up, and so is the offense. But I don't think we wanna push that luck. We need to be like, all right, they did it. Now let's go out there and show them why so many analysts have been saying this is one of the best offenses in the league. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Oof, they got to him. The defensive is definitely trying to another penalty. No. Okay, I see the flag. I'm not gonna look at the comments. Flag on neutral zone infraction. Those are the type of penalties that piss me off. Cause like I get it. When you trying hard, you're gonna make a mistake. You might hold somebody, you might accidentally hit somebody in the face. That comes with being aggressive. But neutral zone shit, especially with a vet like Jadavian Clowney, that shit is unacceptable. What the fuck are you looking at? Even the announcers are like, can't afford to do this against this team. No shit. And 3rd and 5, they get it to AJ Brown. Jesus. They cannot pronounce Revel's name for shit. It's Revel, right? Ain't that his name, Siobhan Revel? Maybe calling him Reveal, Rival, Reval. And I'm like, I could have sworn he had a simple name. I'm gonna look it up on a commercial break. And the Eagles are in the red zone. And now they're saying that roughing the kicker penalty shouldn't have been a penalty. Well, thank you, Flo. He said, no matter the name, he's still not better than Diggs. Who are you talking about, JV? All right, 3rd and 3. Can we at least hold them to a field goal? Somebody calling a timeout. Timeout, Eagles. Okay. Are you talking about Revel, JV? I'm about to look up how to say his name. How to pronounce Siobhan Revel. Yeah, it's Siobhan Revel. It's really not hard. Why they keep why can't they get this man's name right? What the hell? Oh, JV said the whole damn secondary. Well, JV, according to reports, Diggs should be working his way back in a couple weeks. I'm glad they finally calmed down talking shit about that man. Flo, that is the last thing we need. That's why I hate game starts like this. Because we do not need that playing hero ball. We do not need him going into 2-minute offense in the damn second quarter. Can I hate y'all so much. Sorry, I just watched that Saquon Barkley run that I'm pretty sure you've already seen, Flo. And I'm just like, can somebody just jump out and catch that man? Mm. I did not expect Osa to be fast enough to catch him, even though he was right there. But I feel like one of them other dudes should have gotten him. All right, 1st and goal on the 8. They still could hold them to a field goal technically. Jalen Hurts in shotgun. And they're saying AJ Brown got the touchdown. You said where's Agent Zero? I think he's still on a snap count, JV. So they might just not have him in the game yet. Okay. I see why. Second foot did not come down in bounds. And the announcer is asking about him touching the pylon before his foot came down, but I'm like, if the rule worked like that, then you could catch the ball and then fly out of bounds and it would still count. Thank you for the clarification, Fo. I'm not about to pretend like I can actually keep track of everybody's snaps during the game. So I do miss reps here and there. But also Overshown is supposedly on a snap count. Now, whether or not they stick to that, considering the stakes of this game, we'll see. I don't even know what the snap count is. I just know Shotty mentioned it in a press conference. He on the field now, and they all huffing and puffing. Why are they in a 4-man front here? I don't like anything about this defensive formation. I mean, Flo, you're right, but that's why I didn't even like that formation. It's whatever their philosophy is when they're in that 4-man front, it's very passive. It's very passive. It's very reactive. And it's like not only are they not good at it, but when the end zone is so close, You don't really have time for that slow reaction. Well, I feel what you're saying, but I think we're saying the same thing. I'm just saying I feel like the formation itself is one of the causes of that. It's like when they're in that particular formation, their reaction time tends to be slow. They tend to allow a lot of space, and they tend to be more reactive than they need to be, and the reaction tends to be slow. And that leads to missed tackles, broken tackles, hesitation on the part of the defense, so on and so forth. Pizza is the last thing I need. JV, are you being sarcastic? I think what we see the offense do when they come back is going to tell us a lot, because if they go out there and they seem disheveled and Dak is pressing and ends up throwing an interception or something like that. Flo, I don't disagree. But yeah, what we see from the offense, I think, will tell us a lot about whether or not they've grown and they've actually evolved into a better team, or if they are still making the same decisions and the same mistakes. And it really just depends on the circumstances, what we see from the Cowboys. So that's really what I'm waiting to see. I think this drive will tell us a lot about the Cowboys and what to expect. Not just this game, but maybe for the rest of the season. All right, the Cowboys, 1st and 10, have the ball on their 35. Dak under center, Ferguson in motion. Hand off to Javante Williams. Escapes a couple of guys. Makes a dive after a tackle. 20-yard run by Javante. I'll take it. All right, so now we got 1st and 10 on the Eagles 45. Now, JV, this is a scenario where if for some reason they get stalled again, I would have Aubrey kick it. Oh, God. He finally gets a ball too, CD. That was a weird pass. It still hit CD in the hands. Hand off to Javante Williams, got like a yard. CD's had somewhat of an issue with drops this season. He hasn't had this kind of an issue with drops since his rookie year. It's a little bit concerning, but we're in week 12. Whatever he's going to do about that, he would have had to have done by now. JV, I am also hating these drops from our guy. Flo says, I hate the 2 and 10 shotgun runs. Me too. They just completely put the team in a stupid third down situation. Yeah, that that is why we hate those. JV, I'm gonna have to think a little bit about this theory about CD not being able to handle pressure. Because on one hand, I can see it, but on another hand, I feel like that's not it. I feel like that's not what's happening. Have y'all ever seen this show, Landman? I was watching the commercial. It seems interesting. JV wants to be wrong. I mean, just look at it another way. Because like yeah, it could be that CD can't handle the pressure. It could be that something is off between just the him being targeted. Maybe him and Dak aren't as in sync as they've been in the past. See, now I gotta stop watching the comments again. Because Flo said OMG CD, what the fuck? And I feel like he just did something else that's gonna piss me off. All right. Time to see what Flo is talking about. Cowboys have broken the huddle. They're on the Eagles 43, 3rd and 8. Dak and shotgun. Passes to CD, who hits the ground and drops the ball. So CD dropped the ball. It looked like the Cowboys fell on it. I'm watching this replay trying to figure out what exactly is CD doing with his arm because he has the ball and he's like throwing his elbow up and I just don't understand what exactly his plan was there in the first place. So I mean they're saying about him being down by contact, but what the fuck was he doing with his arm? All right, so we got a 1st and 10 on the 31. Dak under center. Ball is snapped and the fuck am I watching, y'all? So it looks like Turpin fell and hit. I can't tell whose leg that was, but it was another Cowboys player. The ball hit somebody's leg and popped out of his arms. Yo, the Cowboys defense is the best performing unit of the day so far, and the Eagles are up 14. So that's how this game is going. Why was Turpin in on that play? I don't know. They took CD out. So I'm guessing they had a plan for how to use Turpin there. I'm guessing that was the plan. And I mean, honestly, the call wasn't a bad call. Like having Turpin run it there on a 1st down when they're in Eagles territory, that's not a bad call. Had he not lost the ball, that would not have been a terrible thing. Even had he even if he fell right there where he fell and just went down the ball and it's like, okay, Cavante Turpin got a 2 yard, 3 yard run, whatever. That would not have been a bad call. I don't have a problem with Turpin being in on the game. I don't have a problem with the play call. I don't understand what happened with the ball hitting somebody's leg and him dropping it. Like, you are a football player. You should be able to handle contact. You should know how to survive the ground. JP said Mingo ain't got no snaps all season. I don't know what they looking for from Mingo to put him in the game. Um Turpin is not smaller than me. Turpin is not smaller than me. I've literally stood next to this man. Hold on, I gotta see how much he weighs though. It would be hilarious if he weighs less than me, but I don't think he does. Cavante Turpin, I wait. He does weigh less than me. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Oh man. But I have been bulking though. Like if I was at my ideal weight, I would weigh a few pounds less than him. But as a based on what's here, I currently weigh more than Monte Turpin. That's scary because I wouldn't want to be out there with them big ass dudes. Actually, no. When I played roller derby, I think I skated with a couple of people who probably weighed what some football players weigh. Definitely not that many of them, but yeah, there's some big ass people on the track sometimes. It's all good, Flo. It's funny. Just know I'm short. I'm very much in the fun size category. Get him. He's right there. What the fuck? Well, 1st down for the Eagles. I'm gonna start waiting until after the play ends before I look at the comments. Hand off to Saquon. Gets stopped. Cool, cool. Penalty flag. I wonder who it's on. Holding your offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down. Cool. So Eagles have a 1st and 20. First and 20 on their own 40. Come on, we gotta keep them out of Cowboys territory. Alrighty, and they sent four. 2nd and 20. This would be a great opportunity to flip the momentum. They keep saying Siobhan's name wrong. About what, an 8-yard run? So it should be like 3rd and 12, something like that. Four-man front, not a fan, but at least they send five. Carson didn't even turn and look for the ball. For a second, I'm about to turn this shit off. I understand the temptation, especially if they score again. I'm not enjoying this game, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have a talk after this possession. Let me see how this ends. Okay. All right. So, Cowboys fans, let's chat. At this rate, I don't know. Is it too soon to talk as though they're gonna lose this game? Because it really feels like they're gonna lose this game. But okay, so here's where I'm at with it. So I'm on one hand, I'm like, technically, only one quarter has passed. A lot can change, right? Like we're still very early in the second quarter, but I haven't seen anything that gives me faith that they're gonna do any better. You know what I'm saying? Flo says, I feel like we should have kept our damn picks. They should not have, and let me tell you why. I feel like the moves that they made with those picks will count for past this season. And it's unfortunate that we as Cowboys fans have to look past this season, but I think ultimately for the good of the team, the moves that they made were good. They just might not be enough to make an impact this season. And I mean, that just comes with the game. Because I mean, real shit is not just about how the Cowboys are performing, because it's like if there were other teams who were a little bit shittier this season and the Cowboys were still going to make the playoffs, I feel like people would be a lot more optimistic about the odds of the Cowboys getting their shit together by the time the playoffs came around and pulling something off, right? It's the fact that because of where the standings are, the Cowboys need this game and subsequent games to even make the playoffs, right? And so then watching them do this is just like, okay, are y'all sure y'all want this for real? Flo said, so the defense is going to have to start doing something they can't do against a team that isn't the Jets or Raiders. Facts. And the offense are going to have to play up to their standard. I don't know what the hell is going on with the offense today. Like, I literally have no words. This is the type of shit that I have to go back and study because it's really unclear. It's like I'm seeing what's happening, but it's hard for me to believe that the offense is just having that poor of luck. You know what I'm saying? Like that last turnover was literally because Cavante had the ball, his arm hit somebody's leg, and he lost the ball. And then the Eagles jumped on it. That's not a play calling issue. That's not, you could call it a skill issue if you think that, somebody in Cavante Turpin's position should be able to survive the ground, right? But that's not bad play calling. That's not, oh, a bad pass by Dak. That is literally, hey, some random shit happened that sometimes happens during games and it didn't go your way. Like, would we even be mad if a Cowboys player had jumped on it and they had somehow gotten the ball back and then gotten points on that drive? Like, we wouldn't even be thinking about Cavante losing the ball, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's not like one thing that is happening, it's several things that are happening that are compiling into very, very bad luck and bad looks for the Dallas Cowboys. JV said, why was Turpin in the game on that play? I can't answer specifically. I know this week in the press conferences, Shadi has talked about getting Turpin going and trying to get him to contribute more. So that's all I can think of. Um, CD was taken out on that particular play, so that left room for somebody else to come in. And I know you said it should have been like Flournoy or somebody like that. Specific decisions like that, I don't even know. Something Shadi may or may not be asked about after the game. Well, since Turpin was in the game because they like to use a 140-pound man on off tackle runs. Oh God. They do seem to like the little guys this year, right? Like, Turpin getting a lot of time with the ball. Reddy Stewart being moved around the defense. Like JV, they do have Javante Williams and Malik Davis. As far as the situational uh analysis is concerned, it was a 1st and 10, and the Cowboys did have relatively good momentum. I I think they didn't anticipate him losing the ball. I think they were looking at it as like, okay, it's 1st and 10. We can give Cavante a carry here. And I think they thought that the worst that could happen was that he would get stopped and it would be 1st and 10 and they could figure it out on the next snap. I don't think they expected him to lose the ball. All right, first down for Ferguson. Tom Brady is saying the third downs feel heavy when you're down 21 points. They feel heavy when you keep having to deal with third and long too. None of these third and longs have been easy. Saying Ferguson was responsible for a false start. If they could just get rid of these pre-snap penalties, like it's not like it's been a ton of them. We're only in the second quarter, but like they've been at some kind of crucial times. Flo says the offense got to run through Pickens. They're trying to feed CD, and they need to feed Pickens. I hate to say it, but Pickens has been the more reliable one the past few weeks. I don't know what's going on with CD. Hey, speaking of feeding Pickens, we go from first and 15 to second and what, five, 4 or 5? Now on the Eagles 45, second and 6. Handoff to Javante. I feel like they blew the play dead a little bit early. Pass to Pickens. First down, Cowboys. And the Eagles send 5. Turpin runs with the ball. Looks like he got about 4. Flo, you're not wrong. They're targeting Pickens and they are moving the ball. Um, Whether you're a CD fan or a fan of somebody else, like you can't deny what Pickens is put on tape. Like if it weren't for him, the offense would look outright stagnant. Speaking of completion to completion to Pickens, the way he snatched that ball out the air, he's making a name for himself. I know CD said it's 2 wide receiver 1s, but not today. Pickens is 1 today. He's made 3 crucial passes on this drive. And now the Cowboys have first and 10 in the red zone. All right. Quick pass to Ferg. Ferg was trying to get to that end zone. He got the first down, not the touchdown, but he was like, oh, y'all gonna have to do better than that if you want me to stop. Oh, I love it. Perfect stiff arm. Get this man in the face though. They had to send 2 men to pick Ferguson up and put him on the ground to stop him. That is wonderful. That is what I want from my tight end. I love it. Direct snap to Williams. Okay. Cool. I'm not mad at the play call. They stopped him just short of the end zone. So now we got Lipke. I think that was Guyton. False start. That sucks. And I was literally just sitting here thinking about like Guyton has been doing a good job today. They were right there. They were right there. I hope they can still get a touchdown on this drive. No, you've got to be shitting me. They were right there. That was that's fucking heart wrenching, guys. Like they were right there. What is happening? JV, I don't think the problem was that he was looking out for CD. I don't think that's the issue. Now, Flair, I will say for whatever reason, every time he targets CD, it's a problem. I don't know what's happening. I can't explain that. But I feel like it was the way he threw the ball that time. I feel like normally he would have thrown that ball ahead so that CD could just go out and get it. I feel like that's how I've seen that play out before. For some reason, he threw that one a little bit softer and underneath, and it gave the defender an opportunity to jump ahead and grab it. Yes, exactly, Flo. Like that was definitely a touch though. I didn't see what was going on with Pickens. What was going on with Pickens? They'll probably replay it after this commercial and I'll look for him, but I didn't actually even see where he was. But here's the thing. Who was it? Who was it? Was it the Cardinals? It was somebody that they played a few weeks ago. It was either the Cardinals or whoever played the week whoever they played the week before that. I remember saying that that particular defense, one of the reasons why they were effective was because they didn't try to shut down every part of the offense. What they did was they figured out how to force other parts of the offense to step up, right? And so they did that by basically handling CD and George Pickens in two different ways, and then that put more pressure on everybody else, and they didn't have what it took to win the game. Basically, I think it was the Cardinals. Um, and so I believe that was the game where, like on CD, they were like double teaming him and stuff. Whereas on George Pickens, they just put their best defender on him. But anyway, I say that to say, what that particular defense did was they did double team CD a lot, and they didn't really have to do that with George Pickens, but they did double team CD a lot, and it feels like ever since then, um, every defense has figured out like, hey, put multiple people on CD. It'll throw off the timing. It'll throw off the chemistry of the offense, and it'll limit their options. Um, and the Eagles seem to be following suit. But that's why sometimes, like on Tuesdays, when I'm talking to y'all about the game, and I'm like, hey, it looks like what this defense did against the Cowboys was easily duplicable. That's what I mean. I mean, it's like it didn't really take some phenomenal defensive player who just did some shit that no other defensive player could do to, shut down the offense. It looks like it. When I say that, I mean, it looks like this is something that any defense could decide to do if they want to. Quinn and Williams' lips are really pink. Not flow. I feel you. And it's something that they've done before. They did it before with CD. Remember last season and the season before that when they had almost no offensive weapons except CD? And so when CD was healthy and on the field, he was like basically spammed. He was just targeted excessively. Quentin Williams is hurt. So Cowboys send four. No, something happened to his hand. I can't see what, but he definitely did the I'm hurt grab. Oh, and now he grabbing his side. Oof. Yeah, he got chipped hard. And Saquon is strong. Small package, but dude is strong. Well, that sucks. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at like just the sheer bad luck of the Cowboys. I wonder what NFL Pro says the odds are of them winning this game. What is the probability right now? Oh, geez. According to NFL Pro, the Eagles have a 96% chance of winning this game. Oh, God. Uh, okay. I wonder if this loss would mathematically remove them from the playoffs. NFC standings. All right, the Cowboys are 4-5, 4-5-1. They lose this game, they'll go to 4-6-1, which would be that would put them at 0.409. So they'd still be second in the NFC East, but oh, JV said 3% after a loss. Eesh, yikes. Oh wait, that's the AFC. So they would have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. There would be nine other teams ahead of them in the NFC. So even if you just look at the wild card options, you're looking at five other teams that would be ahead of them. Yeah, that sounds about right. But it's kind of like I said at the beginning of the season. It's like even if they do somehow miraculously make the playoffs, the way that they're playing, what could we actually expect from a playoff win? Like, I don't even know if I want to entertain the hope, because I feel like if they did make the playoffs, it would just be another disappointing first round loss, and then everybody be pissed off about it. Now I am kind of with JV when it comes to the people who are going to want to blame Dak. I'm like, no, that shit is not acceptable. Um, I still think Dak Prescott is one of the best parts of this team, and it's not like there are any options to replace him with anybody who would be doing better. So, Dak is not the issue. Oh yeah, the Cowboys do have another game turned right back around on Thursday. Oh, nice pass to Turpin. Turpin trying to make up for that turnover. Uh, but honestly, that kind of usage of Turpin, that's that's what I prefer. Get him the ball in space. Let him do that little fast twitch thing that he does. First and 10 on the Eagles 24. Turpin on the sideline catching his breath. Javante Williams got the run for how many yards was it? I don't know. 2 minute warning. I'm so over these commercials. Me just means as wow, we really can't. Uh, we really can't win consecutive games while Coach McCarthy did more with less. Damn. Not wrong though, but damn. I still love Shotty's energy and approach to the game. Definitely running out of fingers to point. I mean, I don't think we're gonna find one reason to like. I don't think we're gonna find one blanket reason to apply to the entire season and say the Cowboys did not succeed this year because of this. This is definitely one of those seasons where you have to go week by week and look at the issues, because most weeks, Shoddy was not the issue. Most week, the play calling was on point, the offense was rolling. This happens to be a week where somehow the defensive unit is the best performing unit out of all the units on the field. And the Eagles still have 21 points, if that tells you anything. So, this is a game where, and I can't even really say it's shoddy, because most of the issues that we're seeing aren't because of play calling. I don't think the play calling is bad. I don't necessarily support that decision at the end of the first drive to go for it on fourth, just because of the field position. But other than that, everything else was just like a mistake, a dropped pass, a pass that went through somebody's fingertips. The interception was, Dak throwing the ball way too soft. That wasn't a play call issue. That was an execution issue. Cavante Turpin hitting somebody's leg and dropping the ball. Like all this stuff has been like little idiosyncrasies to where things haven't worked out the way that you would expect them to. So less shoddy, more careless execution, self-inflicted wounds, just various mistakes, the penalties. So I would not point the finger at Shoddy here. There are some instances where you might want to point the finger at Shoddy. I pointed the finger at Shoddy when we were discussing just discipline in general. So it's definitely something to think about. But I don't think at the end of the season we'll be able to say this was Shoddy's fault or this was all Shoddy's fault. You know, Flo, are they top 10 in penalties this year? Oh, damn. Apparently, the Cowboys are the second most penalized team in the NFL right now. This is crazy. Or at least they were as of October. Hold on, I think there's a website that will show me. Okay, so right now they're fourth most. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. All right. The Cowboys are on the 18-yard line, second and 15, back in the red zone. Dak launches it to Ferguson again, who once again takes him right down to the end zone. They line it up quickly. Dak gets it to Pickens for a TD. Hey. Now the Eagles get the ball back after the half, so there's that. CD, are you saying CD is physically hurt, or are you saying like emotionally he's probably hurt that Pickens is taking his spot? Because I'm like, I know he better show up and do something good because he hasn't looked good in a few weeks. Physically, what happened to him? I didn't see him get hurt. I'm mad they playing TV off. I know a lot of people want to turn the TV off. Georgia backup O liner arrested and faces a dozen criminal charges, including 3 felonies. What the hell? Is this somebody who currently plays for Georgia? Sorry, I've been getting distracted by Daniels, a redshirt freshman from Newark, New Jersey, faces 2 felony counts of second-degree cruelty to children and 1 felony count of fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, according to online jail records. He faces 10 additional traffic-related misdemeanors, including reckless driving and driving at maximum limits. I don't even know who this guy is. That was just a crazy ass headline. Um, But yeah, I hope CD is not seriously hurt. This has not been a great season for him. Um, and that's all I can say without more information. Hold on, let me go to Twitter and see if they're saying anything about it. Dang, they talking about trade CD Lamb on Twitter. Y'all wild. Oh, they are turning on CD Lamb. But you always got to remember, this is Twitter. Dudes on Twitter are like, they be doing the most. They're saying, cut CD Lamb, trade CD Lamb. I'm no longer a CD Lamb fan. CD Lamb sucks. Jeez, this is terrible. Good thing CD don't really be on social media like that. Somebody is showing their betting lineup and they predicted CD would get over 78.5 receiving yards. Here's what I'm gonna tell y'all about betting. Because I've been seeing a lot of people make this mistake this season. Okay. Duran asked if I like NBA. Yes, I do. But here's what I'm gonna tell y'all about betting. Do not bet on players that are on chronically bad teams. I'm gonna say that again. Do not bet on players that are on chronically bad teams. I don't care what it looks like. Don't put them in your lineup because when teams are bad, when they are struggling, and I'm not talking about like their baseline bad. Like the New Orleans Saints will be considered baseline bad, but when it's like their personnel says they should be better, their history says they should be better, or they have a few key players that say they should be better, but they're performing poorly, do not put those dudes in your lineups because the information is too volatile. When teams are performing like that, they're inconsistent week to week. Even if they're losing, the way they lose will change. They're switching up the game plan. They're relying on this dude more than that dude. They're switching up the scheme, trying to get things going. So just don't do it. Any Dallas sports team should not be in your lineup this season. The Wings, the Mavericks, the Cowboys, you should not be betting on nobody from Dallas this season, okay? NBA or NFL. Just don't do it. Don't be tempted. Bet on somebody else. As a matter of fact, something that can help and like there's no foolproof way to win every bet. But something that I found that does help is to first figure out which teams you think are going to win and put players from those teams in your lineup. And that's because like typically whatever team wins, that's a team that played their game. Now, every now and then, even if a team wins, you might have a player that performs below average or way above average. But like more likely than not, the team that's winning, that data is going to be more reliable. But you should not be betting on no Cowboys players this season. You should not be betting on no Mavs players this season. I would say Kansas City Chiefs fall in that category as well. On the NBA side, the Spurs fall in that category as well, just because they're overperforming compared to what people have expected. So bet smart. But I'm seeing people post. I don't know if y'all can see it. They're posting their lineups on Twitter, and they got CD down here, and they wanted him to get 78.5 receiving yards. Here we are at halftime. He's got 16, and I'm just like, you you shouldn't have put him in your lineup. Flo said, "I'm about to be making dinner." Okay, what are you making, Flo? Well, I came here looking for information about CD's possible injury, and I'm finding is insults. So if y'all hear something or y'all see something about CD's injury, let me know. And the thing is, like, if y'all watch me, like, I know JV remembers me saying this. What did I say during the last game? I was like, I think GP is running routes better than CD Lamb. I said between us, you know. So don't expect me to like come out and write a whole article about George Pickens being better than CD Lamb. That's not my lane. That's not my lane. Um, I'm not gonna write a think piece about it. I'm not gonna overanalyze it. I'm just telling y'all because we're here, we're having a conversation. I'm telling y'all what I'm seeing. Um, I'm more curious about the why, and I don't expect CD to tell us because he's not one to open up a lot in his press conferences and interviews. But that's the thing that I'm looking for. I'm just like anybody can see that like GP seems to be performing better than CD Lamb. He seems to be a little bit more reliable. Anybody can see that, but I'm more curious about the why. How did this happen? CD hasn't had this kind of problem with drop passes since his rookie year. What's going on? Is it a chemistry issue? Is it a mindset issue? Is there something going on in CD's personal life? If it is, we'll probably never know. And it's not necessarily any of our business what the details are. Like I said, I'm just curious as to why. So if something is taking his focus, I'm just like, oh, what is happening? So that's the only thing I'm interested in reading. But if people are just gonna rant about how CeeDee Lamb sucks and talk about how many times he's dropped passes, like, okay, yeah, we know. We're watching, we know. And if you want to compile all that into an article, sure, do that. But what is explaining it? That's the only thing I think I would find interesting at this point. Flowman said cubed steak and gravy, rice, green beans, and cornbread. That does sound delicious. Your girls are very lucky. I like eating steak. I think my biggest problem is that like I always choose like the fatty cuts of steak because I like fatty meat. I do. But it's like it's too many calories. That's why I weigh more than Devontae Turpin right now. JV is having spaghetti. What are you putting in your spaghetti sauce, JV? I have some ramen leftovers from yesterday. So after this, I'll probably eat that. I'm gonna need a nap after this. And then I'm gonna go to the grocery store later and get ready for the week. I don't know if I'm cooking this year for Thanksgiving. I might be on the road. Which, speaking of, I don't know if I'm gonna do a watch along for Thanksgiving, depending on what happens during that game. If it's interesting, I might go live like after. Um, but I don't get too many opportunities to like spend time with loved ones. I'm working all the time. So, even if I'm watching the game, I might not be live. I might be spending time with friends and family, whatnot. I used to make spaghetti all the time. I have a gluten intolerance though, and I need to find I need to find a good gluten-free pasta that I like. JV said oregano, parmesan, seasoned salt. No, are you putting meat in it? When I would make mine, I would do ground beef, but I would also cut up some sausage and put it in there. I'm not a big meatball person, but like ground beef, sausage, yeah. And then maybe mushrooms. I'm trying to think what my go-to meal is now. I be eating out a lot. Okay, so typical ground beef, season it, add some Parmesan, oregano. Cool, cool, cool. Send mushrooms if you feel fancy. Thunderstorms. Oh yeah, there are supposed to be thunderstorms here in the morning. I wrote an article. I don't know if it's out though. Hold on. Um, I don't know if y'all saw it, but yeah, no, it hasn't been published. Um, but yeah, ESPN detailed the footage from the search to find Marshawn Nealon. And at the time when I saw it, I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to end up being a bigger story than what it ended up being. But basically, like, there were the details that were released beforehand where, people knew that there was like a high speed chase, there was a crash, so on and so forth. But then the Texas Department of Safety actually released the hours of footage. So, like, the body cam footage, the I think there was drone footage, um, traffic cam footage was included. Obviously, I'm gonna have to plug in my phone soon. Um, but basically, it provided details that people didn't know before, and I think it looked like it was two different writers for ESPN who contributed to like laying out the details. And so I kind of wrote an article about how the NFL isn't really set up for handling grief because of the way that they kind of push the whole show must go on narrative. Um, and now I don't know how I feel about that article because like nobody's really paying attention to the details that were released. Because it's like I read them and I was just kind of like, oh wow. It was one of those things that like once you start adding details to the facts that we already know, like it included quotes from the woman who was hit by Marshawn and how she was like, if I wasn't in such a big vehicle, I probably would have died. Apparently they had interviewed Marshawn's girlfriend twice. Um, they spent hours searching for him. It talked about where they found him. Um, and so it was one of those things that's just like, I wondered if it would impact the way they had been honoring him, you know? And so I just kind of wrote in the article about how the way the NFL kind of forces the show must go on narrative kind of forces people to like make statements before they have all the details. It forces people, especially players, to kind of speed up the grieving process because they have to be prepared to play, so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's written, and I don't think my editor would just like not release it. But now I wonder if it's gonna hit differently or if it's gonna come off weird because of the fact that people didn't really pick up on the storyline. Like the story of the details didn't really go anywhere. And maybe it would if certain people talked about it. But it was kind of like ESPN put it out there and people were like, yeah, it's game day. Whatevs. But if you do come across it and you read it, just know the article wasn't an example of me doing the most or me trying to make a big deal out of something. It was literally just the fact that when I first read it, the article is a reflection of my thoughts and feelings when I first read it, basically. So, but we'll see if anything becomes of it. All right, it looks like the third quarter is about to start. Give me 1 second, you guys. I need to get the charger for. I need to get the charger for my phone, and I'm gonna be right back. Y'all can probably still hear me. Tom Brady said it's only 14 points. Leave it to him to be so optimistic. Alrighty. And we are back. I want a better setup so bad, y'all. Okay. I got a question. Even though it's only two of y'all in here, if y'all have a chance to type in the comments, let me know. No rush, no emergency. If I were to make like a short video every day, like we're talking like a TikTok type video, like 1 to 3 minutes, somewhere in there. If I were to do one of those every day, what would you want it to be about? Would you want it to be about like Cowboys all the time, or would you want to hear about other stuff like the NBA or global stories, other sports like soccer, tennis? Like, what do y'all think? All right. Eagles got the ball. Looks like that's going to put them at 2nd and 1 or 2. All right, 2nd and 2. I have a feeling the Eagles are going to take their time because while it's unlikely for the Cowboys to come back, it's not impossible. Okay, so it's a fake. And pass it off to. Oh, no, illegal formation. You said I hipped you to the Japanese league. Okay, so maybe I'll do some more Japanese stories. I feel like 1 to 3 minutes is like a good time period to talk about the Japanese league because like there's not footage for me to do like a bunch of analysis or anything. So it'll just be like, yeah, just so you know, this is where things are. These are the standings and this is what's happening. Cool. I could do that. I could probably do them like once a week. Mm. It finally looks like the pressure is getting to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Osa, hell yeah. It feels like Osa has been playing different since Quentin Williams popped up. And I know it's only been 2 weeks, but I see a difference. Or maybe he would have just made this transformation after the bye anyway. I don't know. But I like what I've seen the past couple of weeks from Osa Odigizua. And it does look like Quentin is back out there. So whatever was going on with his rib, it was temporary. And that puts the Eagles at 4th and 7. So the Cowboys defense came out ready to do their jobs. Dope. Now we just need special teams to not fuck it up and for offense to hopefully have gotten their shit together. Said Quentin is 92. I saw 95. I thought I saw 92. I could be tripping because sometimes their jerseys get bunched up and it makes numbers look different. So it could have been wishful thinking, but I saw 90. I thought I saw 92. Okay, so JV also saw 92. Cool, cool, cool. Like, am I tripping? But yeah, no, my TikTok following is actually growing. And so I do want to make more TikTok content. And I'm just like, well, TikTok content is basically like YouTube shorts. So it could work. I could I could cross post. Do y'all decorate for Christmas? I haven't decorated anything. Should I do a Christmas backdrop? So what are we expecting from the Cowboys offense in their first drive of the second half? One, I can't reiterate enough how proud I am of the defense. The defense is really stepping up today. JV said no decorations. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna get to it if I can get to it. I am at a point in life where I'm trying to figure out how to turn a hobby into a career. Partially because I love my hobby, partially because I need a fucking better job, you know. And so I feel like I'm more focused on that than anything. That and rebuilding my savings so I could possibly move again. The DFW area is cool, but I'm not sure if this is my final stop. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I say all that to say, uh, Christmas decorations just aren't high on my priority list. I feel like they haven't talked nearly as much about the whole my claws, my cleats thing as they normally do. All right, Cowboys first possession of the second half. The first and 10 on their own 8-yard line. And that gets the ball off to Pickens. Should be like second and one. If they can score on this possession, it won't guarantee a win, but it will change the approach that the Eagles take. Because I think the Eagles came out of the locker room at halftime thinking that they could take their time and eat the clock and work their way down the field. But the defense stopped them, right? But I think they wanted to slow down the pace in hopes that they could put some pressure on Dak, give him a little bit less time, and force him to kind of go into that hero ball style where he makes even more mistakes, which is what he's likely to do if he feels like there's not enough time for him to score enough. But by the defense keeping them off the scoreboard for the second half and doing it with plenty of time, oh god damn. Sorry, Dak just got sacked. No bueno. Um Well, never mind everything I was about to say because they would have had to convert there for any of this to matter. So if the defense can do that again, if the defense can do that again, it can keep the game a little bit more balanced because Dak won't have to, rush and he can stick to the high percentage throws. They can stick to the, more reliable play calling. But now they're having to punt the ball out the end zone. There might be a roughing the kicker situation because somebody definitely just knocked the hell out of Aubrey. Oh no, that was anger. My bad, my bad, my bad. Um, okay, so it was the kicking leg. So running into the kicker is a very different penalty than roughing the kicker. It looks like he's still going to be punting from the end zone. So much cleaner kick that time. Better results, better results. Blocking the back. Well, the Eagles are making a lot of mistakes. So hopefully, if the Eagles keep making mistakes and the Cowboys can avoid their mistakes, maybe they can get another chance. I have to work so much this week, you guys. So, what do y'all think? Should I ask my editor not to publish the story on the Nealon footage? Because I'm like, while that is related to how I felt after I read the ESPN article, I don't know if other people will get it or if it might be taken the wrong way. I've been thinking about that a little bit today. All right, commercials finally over. So the Eagles first and 10 on their own 30. Hands off to Saquon. It looks like they stop him at about 1 or 2. So 2nd and 8 or so. The Cowboys get a 3 and out here. Nice. That was a high pass, but it was also pretty decent coverage. So now we got 3rd and 9. Can the Cowboys defense get another stop? This would be phenomenal. Third and 9 on their own 31. Jalen Hurts in shotgun gets the snap. Ball is caught for a first down by Devontae Smith. And the drive continues. Okay, Hurts under center. Hands off to Saquon. Floof's yelling at somebody. 4-man front. We got Reddy Stewart with the linebackers. Oh, CD caught that ball. That is going to be a joke online somewhere. Oh, that was almost, well, I won't say it's almost picked off, but that pressure is definitely getting to Jalen Hurts. Davey said Siobhan Revel dad is proven to be a liar. What are you talking about? What did his dad say? And another punt. I really just want to be like Cowboys. The defense is giving you chance after chance. Please do something. JV said try him twice and his son is picking it off. Sounds like something a proud dad would say. JB, the defense as a whole is doing okay. Revel is a rookie, ain't he? I feel like y'all are busy eating now, and I kind of want to eat too. They're putting an IndyCar track around AT&T Stadium. That's gonna be a hell of a track. That's gonna be like that's like video game scenery right there. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. Hand off to Javante Williams, runs it out to the 6, the 7. I mean 11 to 12. Sorry. uh, so 2nd and 4 for the Cowboys. They need to hurry up and get like past their own 20 as soon as possible. George Pickens crushing it. Looks like we got an Eagles player down. Oh, no, he's up. He's up. I love the way Pickens runs routes. Pickens runs routes like he can see the future. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 34. Pass to Javante Williams. Looks like he got 11 or so yards. We got another Eagles player hurt. Looks like he might have hurt his wrist. All right, 1st and 10 from their 45. Eagles send 4. Javante Williams broke like 5,000 tackles. Oh wait, no, that was that Davis? I just saw the three. That was my bad. Ooh, Schoonmaker had to step on that defender, but the ball was just thrown a little bit ahead of him. So it looks like the offense is in a rhythm. I've been trying to see if CD is even out there. I really do love how Malik Davis has looked like these past couple of weeks. So they still got Williams on the sideline and they got Malik Davis in the game. I'm here for it. And Cooper DeJean just came and swallowed up Malik Davis. But I did notice something on that snap is that CD was out there, and I feel like that's one of those reps where people are gonna point it out and be like, "See, when CD's not getting the ball, he's running routes half-hearted." And that was another one. Oh my god. Okay, so the ref was in the middle of calling the penalty and then just stopped. I don't know if he heard something. I don't know what's going on. Okay, offsetting penalties, replay third down. Um, Flo, are you watching CD? Because it just feels like he is when he's not getting the ball, he's doing that thing again where he's like running routes with half effort. And I feel like that's something that's been talked about in the past. So just tell me if you notice that at all. What the fuck? I think the thing that I hate more than him dropping passes is the way that he acts like somebody just blew him up. I'm like, you did not get hit hard enough to be like rolling on the ground like that. Why are you doing a somersault? It does kind of feel like CD is mentally checked out. I don't know what's up with him. Everything is going wrong for the Cowboys today. But this is why there were a lot of people who did not get overly excited after the Raiders game. I need to brighten my lights. My video is dark as fuck. But no, this is why there were a lot of people who didn't get excited after the Raiders game. Just because the Eagles are a different team. The Cowboys have yet to beat a winning team. And so it's just like you can be excited about the wins. You can be excited when they look good. If the Cowboys are your team, then take every opportunity to celebrate by all means. But we can't deny reality. We can't sit here and pretend like their performance against the Raiders would translate to a performance against the Eagles just because we wanted to, just because they wanted to. Like there was no evidence that they would be able to handle a defense that gets pressures at more than double the rate of the Raiders, right? Hey, Black Paladin, what's up? But yeah, there was no evidence that they would be able to handle a defense the caliber of the Eagles defense. People have been saying all season, the game happens in the trenches. The battle starts in the trenches. And when you look at the trenches, Cowboys versus Raiders compared to Cowboys versus Eagles, that is two completely different games. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. Fluff said put everybody on IR and maximize the draft pick. There probably is an argument to be made to put a few people on IR. I'm not even gonna lie. And I don't know if CD lost the bet or just wants people to hate him, but I'm just like, what is happening? Because you're right, Flo. He does look checked out. And it's not even just the drops, it's the half hearted route running when he's not receiving the ball. It's the exaggerated falling when he does get hit. I don't know what's up with him. He does not look like the player that I've been a fan of the past few seasons. And it's like, if you've been watching me for a long time, you know I've been a CD Lamb fangirl for years. And so this isn't just George Pickens fandom. This isn't just me trying to blame somebody besides Dak. That's never been my MO. But I'm being honest. I'm being honest about a player that I watch a lot. He does not seem to be bringing the same level of focus that he's brought in the past. And it's unfortunate because it's like, for once, the defense is actually showing up in the way that people have wanted them to. So, like I've said several times, not that they've gone from last in the league to top 10, but I feel like all season people have been like, yo, if the defense can just get to, from 32nd in the league to, somewhere between 25 and 28, if they could just make that much of an improvement, the offense can handle the rest. People have been saying that for weeks. And now I feel like they're finally doing it. What they look like today, how they keep getting stops and getting the Eagles off the field, they look like a defense that if somebody were like, oh no, the Cowboys, they were ranked 25th this week, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But special teams is not doing their part. The offense is not doing their part. The Cowboys just can't seem to get it together, not against winning teams. I'm looking at the D line. I see 42, 97. Is that 92? Yeah, 92 is out there. 92 is out there. Flo said the Cowboys never put together a complete game when it matters. Here's the thing, Flo. That's that is the thing about good teams. They make it harder for you to put together a complete game. That's like it's like at the end of the day, that is the goal of each unit. And here it is again. Defense is getting the Eagles off the field again. Again. So it's like, Cowboys, you have yet another chance. Like, this is only a two possession game. And the Cowboys have had so many chances to go out there and close the gap and put a little bit of pressure on the Eagles. Because the same way that Dak Prescott will make mistakes when there's pressure on him, Jalen Hurts will do the same thing. He might do the same thing, but they're just not putting him in that position. So let's see. We got Javante Williams on the field. We got CD on the field. Flournoy. I'm just looking at who's in the huddle. So CD, Pickens, Flournoy. It looks like Guyton might be hurt. So who's in his place? Henry Thomas? So that one I'm not gonna blame on CD. CD, it looked like CD was coming back to the ball, and sorry, I'm listening to Aaron Andrews. I think she's talking about Eagle players, but yeah, Quinyon Mitchell stopped CD from getting that completion. I won't put that one on him. So we got George out wide, CD in the slot. Who's at the top? That was Cavante Turpin. Looks like a DPI, however. Automatic first down. I'll take it. He did get there a little bit early. All right. Devontae Williams gets him the first down, gets him to the 30. What are we blowing whistles for now? So many whistles. Another hurt Eagle. Tyler Guyton State getting hurt. Well, we don't know how bad this one is. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope it's not that bad. But yeah, he's had a rough couple of seasons in the league. Won't lie. All right. We got Dak in shotgun, CeeDee Lamb in motion, passes it off to Javante Williams, who breaks a couple of tackles, gets about 5 or so yards. JV, a couple of weeks ago, they had to take him out the game for a few snaps. I remember because dude who took his place was actually playing a pretty good game, and people were talking about leaving him out there. That was almost intercepted again. Jesus. Was that a poor play situation, JV? They are swarming CD. Wow. Well, that was an incredible catch. I don't know what this call is, but that was an incredible catch. I hope they keep it. Yeah, Dejean was literally hitting CD in the face. But I'm glad they declined the penalty though, because like CD definitely needs that catch on the stat sheet. And JV, I feel you. I don't know why he forced the ball to CD that time because it was looking ugly for a second there, but at least it worked out. Another run by Javonte Williams. Looks like he got 4 or 5 yards. I need somebody to make me a gif of Jake Elliott's facial expression just then. That level of shock was unnecessary. Okay, another penalty. What happened this time? They're calling some things that they weren't calling earlier. Cause like the way he grabbed CD, like CD had his jersey tugged earlier and they just let it go. But this time they called it. Spanford? Spanford be so quiet, they probably forgot about his ass. Oh my God, show me this again. Spanford wasn't even supposed to be there, is the funny part. Because if y'all look at what happened, he was pushing someone out the way who fell. And then he stumbled into empty space when that person fell. And Dak just found him. That play was not drawn up like that. That play was not drawn up like that. That was an accidental touchdown. But I'll take it. I think that's why they're laughing on the sideline. Oh no, when it goes to commercial, I'm gonna rewind it just to see their reaction on the sideline because I think Dak was like, that wasn't supposed to happen. I like the way Fanford dug his fingers into the ball. Like he caught it and then you can see him go like, hey, this is a one possession game now. If the defense can keep getting stops, we might be able to salvage this. I am very much amused by what's his name covering up his entire face to talk to Dak. They really don't like people in their business. Okay, so the Lions did win that game. And by the way, when I said what's his name a second ago, Joe Milton, I don't know if y'all were watching, but like Joe Milton was talking to Dak and he took his little head covering off and put it over his face and is talking through it to talk to Dak, which I think is incredibly interesting. All right, all right, all right. Cowboys send 5. Looks like the Eagles still get a first down. Flo says the issue with the Eagles is that they are a least necessary effort team. That's legit. The Eagles will easily score a TD on this drive to keep themselves comfortable. Um, Paladin says, I hope the boys win this game. Can't let the Eagles sweep them. Frankie says we need to blitz Hurts more. Agreed. And what they did just now was a different kind of blitz too. I hope Carson not hurt. He just got back off injury. He doesn't seem to be limping. He's putting his helmet back on. I think they're just gonna take him to the side and look at him. Nah, something wrong because Kalen Carson is upset the way he just threw that helmet. All right. We got Stewart in the linebacker position again. We got a five-man front. Everybody collapsing onto the line of scrimmage. Jalen Hurts slides after about 2 yards, about 1.5 yards. And don't get antsy, Cowboys. They're looking a little too excited on that line. And Dono made the grab, but slid off of him, so they get the first down. All right, fourth quarter. It's a one possession game. My mic might die soon. And I don't know where my other one is. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it's still working for now, though. Paladin, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even thinking about the draft yet. I know some people are, but like I couldn't even tell you what position is strong in this draft, which in my opinion does play a role. Because with the number of free agents that the Cowboys have and the amount of help that they seem to need at various positions, I do think which positions look the strongest will play a role. I kind of want to brighten my lights, but I don't want them to cut off. I'm kind of glad that they're still on. Fourth quarter. Both teams still have all their timeouts. Looks like the Cowboys defense is still being aggressive. Who's this flag on? Oh, offensive pass interference. First and 20. Frankie, I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand it either. That's why I'm just like, they said offensive pass interference. Okay. It looks like the Eagles have gotten more penalties. What's that flag for? False start? Oh, damn. And see, here's the thing. People are gonna be like, let's say the Cowboys stay close or win. People are gonna be like, oh, the refs helped y'all out. But it's just like, no, AJ Brown really did move. That really was a false start. Like bad calls, missed calls are gonna happen. But some stuff is just it's on camera. And I don't know what just happened to Jalen Hurts. Somebody scared the shit out of him. Like Quinnen Williams Quinnen Williams got to Jalen Hurts practically unblocked, and Jalen Hurts was like, "I, I just need to get rid of the ball." He just tossed it into space. Shouldn't that be intentional grounding? There was nobody eligible there. Whatever. JV, I see your frustration with Revel. He was right there and put his hands on AJ Brown, but did nothing to slow him down. Might as well have not been there. All right, we got a third and 12. Let's see if the Cowboys can get a stop. We got a four-man front. A fifth guy looks like he's creeping down. He drops back, but it looks like he's going to be stopped 4 or 5 yards short of the first down. Field goal range, yes. Tush push territory, no. Frankie, are you ahead too? Do you know they missed a field goal? Or are you guessing that they will? What the fuck? Technical difficulties again. Hold on. My shit paused. Oh, and he misses. And the Cowboys are going to take over with solid field position. This game is interesting, y'all. By the way, the Cleveland Browns are winning. For those of y'all who I know I picked up some Colorado fans when I covered them a lot the past couple of seasons. So I know somebody might end up watching this and be like, how is Shador doing today? Browns are winning. He said once dinner was served, the defense started playing better. Hey, you know what? Things are connected in the universe in ways that we can't explain. Who knows? But also, I'm hungry. Speaking of being hungry, random aside. So Waffle House is in DoorDash now, and I've ordered from them a couple of times. I feel like it's not as good. I don't know if it's just it's been so long since I've had them that it's just changed and it's not as good, or if there's something different about having Waffle House at home as opposed to going to a Waffle House and eating. But I don't think I'm gonna order from them anymore. You know what, Flo? You might be right. Maybe that's what it is. Because it's like it don't really be cold, but it don't really be hot either. JV said don't eat there anymore. I won't be eating there for a while. So I made two commitments to myself. One, I'm gonna get serious about getting back into athlete shape. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to playing derby, but I just want to get back into that shape. Like I feel better. Oh my God. George Pickens is fucking phenomenal. Ah, hold on. I want to watch that again. This is receiver porn right here. Two people on him, jumps up, snags the ball out of the air, even though he is literally being assaulted. And just like that, Cowboys are in the red zone. Frankie, what are you counting? All right. Dak takes off running. Dak just dove into the end zone. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my God. Y'all, this is ridiculous. I don't know what they did on the sideline between the last drive and this one. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Okay. See, I saw 3 and 4, and I was like, what are you counting? Now I see you're ahead, and you were acknowledging George Pickens and Dak Prescott. Now that makes sense. Cool, 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 cool. So you and Flo are ahead. I need to go back to not reading the comments. Hey, I'm seeing some resilience from the Cowboys. That's something we've been asking for all season, right? Some resilience, some fight when they're down. Yo, if the defense can get another stop, I'm not saying they look completely different. Paladin said Pickens got them Terrell Owens hands. He kind of got some Terrell Owens or Terrell Owens tendencies, doesn't he? We are definitely back in this. Me, just me. It's a tie game. That's the definition of being back in this. When you go from being down 3 possessions to a tie game and your defense is getting stops, I'm like, all right. It's like, okay, Cowboys out here hopium dealing. Ain't gonna really have this fan base believing. JV, what does the percentage go up to if the Cowboys win? Hold on, I want to check the win probability. I want to check the win probability real quick. All right. The Eagles win probability has dropped from 97% down to 60%. Me, just me, somehow I knew that's what you meant. So no worries there. I was not expecting Dak to dive into the end zone like that. Oh, that was fucking phenomenal. That was fucking phenomenal. So now we really got to see what the defense is going to do. And we got to see what the Eagles are going to do. Because who was it in the comments who said that the Eagles are a least effort team? And that's facts. But they needed to put in some effort on that last drive. I feel like on that last drive, it genuinely was that the Cowboys stopped them. Oh yeah, the Cowboys absolutely have to resign Pickens. That was already known. So in case there was any confusion, like I was already of the mind that the Cowboys needed to re-sign Pickens, but if there was anybody who was doubting, hopefully they've gotten their shit together at this point. I'm just making sure that my mic still has batteries because that bitch was trying to die a second ago. But no, Pickens looks phenomenal. And it's like I hate to keep making the comparison, but what we saw from him on that last catch is what we need from CD because it's like they've been double teaming CD, and CD almost looks like he's like acquiesced a little bit, like he's withdrawn because of it. Whereas Pickens is attacking the ball every single time. It's like, oh, you want to put two people on me? You want to have Cooper DeJean trying to snatch me out the air when I jump up for the ball? I'm gonna get that bitch anyway. And I feel like that's the attitude you need to have as a receiver. Like you have to have that mindset of I'm gonna get that bitch anyway. I'm gonna make the catch anyway. It doesn't matter who you put on me, what they do to me. Who was that who just missed that tackle? They flew across the screen so fast I didn't even see it. Oh, that was Bland who missed the first tackle. All right, so the Eagles are already in Cowboys territory. Nice tackle, Demo. Demo is not quite yet moving with like that lightning fast aggression that we were so excited about last season, but he's making an impact on this game. The tackling is definitely there. All right, 2nd and 6 on the Cowboys 40. Jalen Hurts in shotgun. Cowboys show blitz. Reddy Stewart got there but couldn't take him down, and he runs for a first down. Reddy Stewart was right there. Agreed, agreed. I feel like that was more of a miss by Stewart than Jalen Hurts actually getting away. Stewart just misfired there. Like that was his chance. And Hurts gets that pass off. Looks like for a couple yards. All right, 2nd and 7 from the Cowboys 28. Hurts in shotgun again. First down, flag down, hands to the face. Oh, dang. That is assault. Oh, my God. Flo, I have noticed that. I have noticed that. Have you noticed the Packers fans online complaining about how Micah never gets calls? Something about Joe Milton's demeanor on the sideline says to me that he's a cool ass dude. Never met him, but he just seems to have that demeanor. All right, Cowboys send four. Hurts gets the pass off to Berkeley. Sam Williams knocks the ball out. Oh shit. Okay. Sam Williams making positive plays and Murray recovering. Wow. Everybody's on a mission to redeem themselves tonight. I love it. Ooh, these Eagles fans in the stands look mad. That's the most fired up I've ever seen Matt Eberflus. I was like, okay, Sam. Sam using his speed. Thank you. Using his speed for good. Who was it in the chat who said if the Cowboys get a turn Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. So the sound might not be as good, but tell me if it's horrible. Like if it's like you literally can't understand what I'm saying. I don't think he ever had the ball. I think that was an incomplete pass. So I think the only thing that I said while y'all couldn't hear me was that what we need to do is not get cute. Keep letting Javante run the ball and feeding George Pickens. JV, why are you afraid for Pickens? Did I miss something while I was fixing my mic situation? 2nd and 20. Oh Lord. To Flanoy. Cannot bring it in. Are you afraid for Pickens because you feel like teams are going to go after him because it's a contract year and this dude is showing out? It did look like somebody landed on his lower leg. And we need him right now. We really need him right now. Somebody step up. I shouldn't have looked at the chat because now I'm like, Cowboys recover. What happens? I'm just now getting to the punt flow. Say what you need to, but I'm just not looking. I'm so hungry. Who knocked that ball out? Was that Bell? Was that Marquise? And dude is hurt. Yep. Marquise Bell just lowered his shoulder and was like, he was on a mission to knock that ball out. He wasn't even trying to tackle. He was like, punch out or nothing. Hold on, hold on. I'm so hungry, guys. I need more chargers. I'm like trying to charge my mic, and now my phone is like battery is low. So look, we're gonna focus on the phone since y'all can hear me. If y'all are so inclined during this holiday season to hit your girl with some super chats so I can upgrade my setup, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, a power bank would be dope. Like, I'm not asking for $10,000 so I can completely pimp out this whole space. Although, like, if you got it to give, I will humbly accept it. I will name my show after you. Um, but yeah, like I'm saying, like, they got power banks and all that stuff on sale on Amazon right now. Thank you, Flo man. I appreciate you. I think on my future shows, I'm gonna put my Venmo and stuff at the bottom because YouTube does take a good chunk of whatever super chats y'all give us. Javante Williams takes the ball down to the 1. I wanted them to take their time with this, the Cowboys, like eating the clock. But at this point, for the power bank, thank you. Um, at this point, is there a way I can pin this? Oh, I think it just stays at the top, but I'll put that on the screen. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm just like, take the opportunity while it's there. He was trying to get Ferg to block for him, but Ferg was being pulled. He couldn't turn his body in a position to get the block. But I am proud of Dak for not throwing it there and expecting Ferg to fall into the end zone. I don't think it's 90-10, JV, but I do think it's like, it's a lot. I'm gonna have to, I'll look it up and I'll tell y'all if y'all really want to know. Unless they changed it, because it wasn't 90-10 before. Jesus Christ, fucking CD. Y'all, they're gonna come for CD on these internet streets, and I'm not even in the position to save him. In the past, I have tried to defend CD Lamb. So Pickens is on the field. CD is out wide on the other side. They are going for it instead of taking the 3 points. They better get this, or they are going to crucify Schottenheimer. I have no words because I feel like in that position, just take the 3 points. Your defense has been getting them off the field. If the defense gets a safety for the second week in a row, I mean, same flow, same. I'm like, I'm already hungry. Now I'm nauseous too. What? I don't understand why they didn't go for 3 though. Why would you not go for 3 and at least put the pressure on the Eagles to get the touchdown? Like, he gonna have to answer for that in this press conference. I feel like win or lose, he gonna have to answer for that in this press conference because I don't understand that one. And now the Eagles is moving down the field. So the win probability for the Eagles had dipped to 19%. So it was saying that the Cowboys had an 81% chance of winning, and now it's back up to 61% for the Eagles to win. That's how much of a swing the game took by them choosing to go for it and not. And Demo was there to make the tackle. What would we do without Agent Zero? JV, I don't understand what it is. Like, y'all, why did they do that? I really don't know what to say until the game is over. If the defense somehow makes another stop, I feel like we lose all right to talk shit about the defense for the rest of the year. Now, let me not lie. Because people will say what they need to say about this team, but damn. Yeah, no, that drop by CD was ugly. Got another preview from Flo. I feel like I know what's about to happen. And the Cowboys send four. Hell yeah, I love it. I'm telling y'all, Olsen has stepped up the past couple of weeks. I don't know what he did during the bye, but he needs to do it every day.
And overpowered Landon Dickerson? God damn. Damn, Osa. All right, Cowboys. So you're going to get the ball back. So, like I said before, don't get cute. Did I not say that before the last draft or the last drive? Can they not hear me? I clearly said, don't get cute. Let Javante run the ball and feed George Pickens. It's three things that you have to remember. Fuck. Run the clock out and let Aubrey win it. I would take that too. I mean, it's a minute and 44 seconds left. Like that's not a lot of time. I don't know how far they're gonna get. Why? I'm shrugging because they're talking about whether or not the ball hit the scoreboard to cause a redo of the punt. Okay, that was a weird special team sequence. It, Cowboys first and 10 on their own 27. Ferg with the ball drops it and it goes out of bounds. So it did look like somebody stripped the ball. So it's not like he just dropped it, but they might want to be more careful on this drive. All right. 1 minute left. Dallas has one timeout left. So 3rd and 2. Nice, Ferg. Aubrey over there warming up. uh, They're talking about Aubrey's miss from earlier. I need them to not put that bad juju on my screen. I wish I had some sage to burn right now. All right, 1st and 10 on the Eagles 46. I'm not looking at the comments. So whatever's happening, say what you need to say, but I will not look down. Javonte Williams gets back to the line of scrimmage and is stopped. No timeouts. Why am I reading your comment, JB? What does that say? Okay, I'm back to not looking at the comments. I can fight the temptation. I know I can. George Pickens! Oh my God, I love him so much. And they said Pickens was hurt. He looks fine to me. His route running, the way he turns on a dime. Oh my God. I will never get over the hilarity of the Steelers looking for a receiver at the trade deadline. And Pickens is out here just cutting up. Is he okay? He's holding his hands. They tried to take this man's pants off. All right, it's an injury timeout. I'm gonna look down. Okay, JB, I feel you. It might have been a cramp. And Flo, I do think you're right. I do think you're right. I just feel like CD's missteps have been more frequent recently, and so they stand out. Hold on, I'm about to. Okay, I just switched mics. Tell me which one sounds better to y'all. Like, tell me if it sounds better now than it did a minute ago. Paladin, yes, I agree. I do think that I think Pickens has been a little bit more consistent than Lamb. Like Pickens might be off, and I feel like even when Pickens' stats were low, he was drawing a lot of DPIs. Like, do y'all remember those few weeks at the beginning of the season where it was like, how is Pickens getting so many DPIs, and people were wondering how he did it? What that? You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been like, oh, I'm just missing passes. I'm just running lazy routes. I'm just dropping balls. Like, it hasn't been that. It's just been like he's had quiet days, but he was still impactful. So is this where they bring out the field goal unit? Is that what we're doing right now? All right. Should be an easy one for Aubrey. Perfect. I cannot believe they won this shit, y'all. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. There is so much to say about the ups and downs in this game. Look at Jerry Jones. Jerry's so hyped. These post game press conferences are going to be so good. Flo said, first time coming on your live for a game, watch along, and it was a win. So you're my list of watch alongs because you are bad luck. Thank you. It was a pleasure having you. I appreciate you. Chris, where you been? Don't pop up at the end talking about hey wifey, and you ain't been here with us the whole game. Where you been? Okay, so that was bananas. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna give y'all my final thoughts and get out of here. And we're gonna talk about this way more in depth on Tuesday. We'll probably do the swipe right thing again because that was fun. But I feel like in terms of what you want to see from the Cowboys offense, this is something that Cowboys fans have been asking for not only this season, but actually for a couple of years. Like proof that they can come back, proof that they can gather themselves and figure out a way to win. Because I mean, let's be real. Being down 3 possessions, like if you were to go to most Cowboys fans and tell them like, hey, deep into the second half, the Cowboys are going to be facing the division leader and they're going to be down by 3 possessions. And the defense is going to be getting stops, but the offense just can't seem to do anything. Most people would expect that game to end up being a loss. But in this game, what we saw was the Cowboys did what was smart. You know, while there were mistakes, while individual players did drop passes, ultimately the decisions that they made, the calls that were made to run the ball, to feed George Pickens, they made the right calls most of the time. Now, that whole let's not go for the field goal thing when we're like right there on the fourth down, that's something that can be discussed. But, you know, I don't think they were force feeding CD. I think people were just tired of seeing the ball go to CD. But they did what was smart in terms of getting the ball to George Pickens and letting Javonte run the ball. At the end of the day, that's what got the offense moving. They figured out that was what was winning, and they stuck to it, and it paid off. They stopped making so many dumbass mistakes. Y'all saw the pre-snap penalties start to slow down. And the defense, oh my God, talk about belief in themselves. We saw Osa stepping up, getting a sack, had to overpower fucking Landon Dickerson to do it. Are you serious? I mean, Osa is fast and strong. Don't get me wrong. But Landon Dickerson ain't no bitch. Sam Williams making smart plays, getting the ball out. We saw Marquise Bell making good plays on special teams. Basically, everybody on this team had to raise their level in order to get this win. And it was still only a 3-point win. But at the end of the day, that's what fans have been asking for, and that's what they did. And it wasn't one player that did it. It wasn't one unit that did it. It was everybody saying, if I can just push a little bit, if I can, as All Might would say, push beyond my limits, if I can go from here to here, maybe we can do something special. And they did. So I'm excited. I'm going to write about this. I'm going to, I don't know. I'm gonna get some food first. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna listen to these post game press conferences, and yeah, we'll be in touch. So y'all have a good night. I hope everybody's enjoying the game. Paladin says, "Heck of a game." I'm gonna chill. Y'all take care. Peace, peace, y'all. This has been another Watch Along with Bitches Love Sports. I'm your host Jazz Monet, and I'm out.
You only think of us as a bitches when you intimidated. Put it that way. I think
people look at a woman and she's an aggressive woman who's out to get what she wants to get. You know what I'm saying? Ambitious, and they want to say, you know, when a male is assertive, this what he wants. He's looked at as a strong male, but yet when I get it, you know, I'm a bitch.
Exactly.
And if that's what I gotta be, exactly, to get what I want and to make it somewhere, then I'll just be there.